Okay, just a quick video here. I was at the Mesa, Arizona stamp convention this past weekend, and people tipped me off to the Wink of Stella brush, and it's by the Kuretake company. And it is a iridescent writer, and it comes in various colors. And I had never heard about them, so I'm pretty late to the party. I guess they've been out for a couple years, but I've applied a little bit of it down here, and you can see that kind of iridescent glow or reflected quality they have. And it's perfect for me and kind of reflective lighting situations within a given scene. This one right here, I used a little bit of the gold, and let me see, no. Silver, I guess? No. On this one right here, I used the clear, so it's going over the top of the golden colors, you know, the oranges and whatnot that I've laid down here, and we can kind of see that reflective quality. And let me try that here. Let me see, is that the gold one? Clear, sorry. In this one right here, this was a scene that I did before, and you can see it right here. On my paper, it kind of shows up a little bit darker, but that's just because of the moisture. But just laying some of it down here on my snow would give it that kind of... It gives it that little extra... I don't know. I guess detail? Yeah. That I like because it's not so apparent if you just look at a scene like this, but it's when it's reflected in the light, you get that little extra something here, you know, as far as that reflective kind of sparkle. Now, let me shake this up right here. I'm really unfamiliar with these pens in terms of their usage. There's probably many other and much better and knowledgeable videos when it comes to these brushes and pens and whatnot, and the different colors that are out there, and how to use them, and how to use them best. But I'm just kind of using it as like a, I don't know, like a just a clear, very subtle applicator here. Let me see if I can see it a little bit more. Yeah, you can, okay, I can see it more. I kind of shook this up to get that to mix in, but I don't know if you can see that right there as it captures that, like that little kind of radiance there. You can see there's a big difference between right here and right here. Now it's lighter to begin with, but you can kind of see that little reflective quality to it. A little bit of a shimmer. It's hard to see on this camera, probably because I'm also not applying it into some other areas with a little bit more contrast against that radiance, but let me see, I just laid some right down in here too. Let's see, yeah, see that right there? You can really see that there against a little bit of a darker background. Right in here it's a little bit more subtle. Okay, here we go. I think I just picked up some of that pigment ink from that wolf, but let me mix that around a little bit. Alright, let me see here. Yeah, okay, you can kind of see it in there. Like I said, it's not so apparent as it is over here, where you get the little additional contrast against the, you know, this little, whatever it is in here, mica, or I don't know, whatever it is that's causing that shimmer, but you can see it in areas with higher contrast. So anyways, those little types of things are fun to do and to add into a given scene that would lend itself to that, you know, kind of reflective, whatever context or whatnot. It might look kind of interesting around on some of these, you know, clouds to reflect a little bit of that moonlight, and it might represent something like in a scene like this, some snow on some trees, giving it a little bit of that extra kind of shimmer. But one of the things that I really like about it is that it is not quite so apparent unless it is kind of angled to reflect that light on it. So I like the subtlety of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so here's some on that tree. See these trees on the left, on the right side of the trees to the left of the moon? I've applied a little bit of that glitter there. Or I don't know, it's not really glitter, whatever that shimmer is. And over here, I don't know, I didn't really apply it too much to some of these trees. But anyways, I think you get the point there. Just a little bit of a background. Now they have this on their packaging. I would imagine it's on all of the packaging. I bought this in a 3-pack with the clear gold and silver. And I don't know how many other pens there are, but they always have instructions on how to kind of get these flowing. Now, like I said, I don't really know a lot about these pens, but you kind of just take this apart like this and remove this sheath here. And then what you have is, this is kind of like the Rotring Rapidograph technical pens that I use, but there's this little stem in there that will break this seal now that this, you know, that little sleeve is gone. So it's going in here. I can feel that tension between that little stem penetrating this reservoir. And you'll move it in like that. And there's this little, I don't know, some sort of, it doesn't sound like a metal ball to me. I guess it could be since this is plastic, but there's a little ball in there kind of mixing up all that, whatever the binder is, and whatever that reflective material is to really get that shaken up. And right here on the thing it says push, you know, on both these sides, and you kind of push this in and squeeze in that color. I can see it coming into this area right in here. And I don't know if I'm doing this right, because every time I do it, it kind of leaves a little blob on my paper here. I don't know if I'm trying to rush it or something like that, or if this is supposed to feed right down the this brush tip. I don't know. But it seems like just to kind of get it flowing a little bit faster, I don't know, through capillary action, you know, if you kind of squeeze some out on your paper. I did this one yesterday, and it just seems to get going a little bit faster. I don't know, here, this is kind of dripping down the side. Okay, now it kind of fed. So, this is gold, and of course it's perfect for kind of golden, you know, scenes and whatnot. It doesn't have to be gold, but I mean, it's certainly blend in with something like this. So I used some clear on here, remember, too. And, you know, why don't we complement that with some additional little streaks of hue. Something like that. Now that'll dry a little bit lighter, I would assume, but you can kind of see that in there. It's a little more subtle like that. And for something like this, I think I'd actually blend that out a little bit more with some clear, maybe. So anyways, not kind of an instructional video on these, but just to say, you know, how I plan on utilizing these within my own scenes. So a little bit harsh now. Let me try some of that clear. I'll use some of that clear maybe as kind of a blending tool. Yeah, perfect. See this right down here, how it's a little bit kind of harsh like that. And I'll just use my clear one as somewhat of a blending instrument for that hue. You can always use lighter versions of a given hue or value with any type of pens, like alcohol pens and, I don't know, water-based pens in some ways, if the your surface allows for it, you know, some blending. And with a medium like this, on things like glossy cardstock that, you know, I'm using here on this paper, that works pretty good. Alright, so anyways, there we go. And that'll dry a little bit lighter too, like I said, but this clear works perfectly as a blending instrument. Alright, so we have that nice shimmer on the surface like that. Something like this would be great up in kind of around some little stars. I'm always looking for extra detail, but sometimes I don't want anything too, you know, obvious or, I guess, loud on my surface, and I tend to like little details, so kind of subtle little things like this. Okay, this is going to be really difficult because this is so textural to see, but I can kind of see it right here. I've gone in over some of these larger stars and applied some of that material. Yeah, see that right there, how that's a little bit more reflective. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. See something like that. That's really fun. So I already use metallics on my scenes as something to capture that light. Now this is, you know, something that I can add into that mix of kind of subtle details. Alright, so anyways, there's my little feeble attempt at a Wink of Stella Brush video there, but I plan on having a lot of fun with these and look forward to using them. Thanks for watching.